I come home from work just now and, trying to catch up on the news, and the very top story on Google News is an article by a Mr. Michael Falcone over at the New York Times. And the article is entitled "McCain Sharpens Case Against Obama's Economic Plan." And so let me just read a few excerpts from this, and I'm sorry, but I had to comment on this. Well, let me just start. Warning that if elected, Senator Obama's plan would enact the single largest tax increase since the Second World War. Senator John McCain argued in a speech today that he would keep a steady hand on our economy, holding down taxes on individuals and corporations. Now, I'd like to make 2 points here. Holding a steady hand on our economy. Now, that's basically an oxymoron because our economy is sinking pretty fast. So if he wants to keep a steady hand doing what we've been doing all along, it's probably not such a good idea. And as far as holding down taxes for individuals and corporations, one might want to ask the question as to what individuals he is addressing and what corporations he's talking about. Maybe he's talking about Exxon Mobil, Shell Corporation, and various other multinationals who have reaped the benefits of not tax increases, but massive tax cuts, which are completely unproportional to the rest of the population. Mr. McCain said reducing the corporate tax would help make American business more competitive and prevent jobs from being moved overseas. He also said that it's not enough to tweak the current tax code around the edges, and instead he proposed a vastly less complicated system that would include 2 tax rates with standard deductions. Okay, so so what he's saying is that since things are going so well in this country, and since we should basically keep a steady hand on the economy, no further jobs are going to be moved overseas as a result of this. You may want to question that wisdom that he is spouting off here, because in essence it's exactly the opposite. And when he is talking about the less complicated tax system, we can just imagine what he means by that. Basically, you're going to have one standard for the 5% of the super rich and super wealthy and the multinational corporations, and then everyone else. So that's the simplification that he's talking about. And, to go further, the presumptive Republican nominee also called for a middle-class tax cut, a doubling of the size of the child tax exemption, and so on and so on. Under an Obama administration, Mr. McCain said that Americans would see more money come out of their paychecks. And he criticized the Democratic opponent for proposing to renegotiate NAFTA, the trade agreement between Canada and Mexico, between actually Canada, Mexico, and the United States. So, all I can say is, even with no tax increase for the middle class and the lower classes, as has been the case during the last few years, there is a lot of money coming out of our paychecks, and that's after taxes. And the money that's coming out of our paychecks it manifests itself in increased medical premiums, in increased prices for everything, in increased gas prices, food prices, and completely stagnant wages for the last 25 years, when production in this country has actually increased. But of course, we, the people, are not seeing the benefits from the increase in production, because it is basically all being benefited by the multinationals and benefits overseas. So he says that if I'm elected president, and this is McCain speaking, this country will honor its international agreements, including NAFTA, and we will expect the same of others. And it just goes on and on. The question I want to pose is, which international agreements has the United States actually honored in the last 8 years? It certainly weren't any environmental agreements. You know, the Kyoto Protocol wasn't even signed. The non-proliferation treaties in terms of nuclear arms have been completely trashed. International agreements as far as the Geneva Conventions are concerned are no longer in existence as far as McCain's party is concerned. So, you know, you have to wonder what kinds of international agreements, except for NAFTA and those benefiting the global financial elite. And I'm talking about the 5% here, not the other 95% of people. What exactly is he talking about? So that's my little commentary for tonight. You know, it pisses me off to read stuff like this, and I hope the American people are not bamboozled again into this kind of rhetoric. You know, I'm not too happy with the Democrats either, but I'll tell you what, I will take a Democrat over a Republican this time around, any time of the week, because we are headed towards disaster for the middle class in America and for every working person here, and you shouldn't be voting against your own interest. And I'm not talking about small entrepreneurs, small business people, or anyone else, because they're all getting screwed too. They just don't realize it yet. Or maybe they have, actually, because that's why there is such a response to some of the things that Ron Paul has proposed. The largest spending that has taken place in the last 8 years is Pentagon spending and military spending, not social spending, not anything benefiting the ordinary person. So I suppose the next thing McCain is going to propose is to privatize Social Security once again, just like they want to privatize water and everything else. So, you know, you tell me, who's benefiting? Anyway, I get tired of talking about it sometimes, but I just had to make a comment about this tonight. Thanks for listening. Bye.